What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking Kamala in against Galactus, because I said I would, because I got her to level 70, so you know that means it is Galactus time, like I always do with my level 70 characters. So here we have her with her Inhuman uniform. I did get the uniform up to Legendary. If you watch my previous video, I had it at Legendary as well for that one. I went over the uniform options in that video as well, but I can show you here. We have Nimrod, Nightcrawler, X-Force, Captain America, Hydra Supreme, Infinity War, Proxima Midnight, and then the last one was Magneto Marvel Now. So that's what she's looking like there. For the Obelisk here, I haven't changed anything. We still have a max HP 180 proc. For her Isolate set, we have a stage 6 Power of Angry Hulk. For her skills here, we have 3, 4, and 5 leveled up because 2 and 1 don't really give her anything extra, so I'll just save the gold. For the custom gear here, we have just 2 custom gear. The gears, I just have 2 Urus on her for Ignore Defense to help max that out. And then if we go ahead and take a look over here at our details, you can see we have max attack speed. We have pretty low crit rate and crit damage, so I need to work on those a little bit if I want to use her in a little bit higher content. Her Ignore Defense is maxed, and her skill cooldown is maxed. So that's what Kamala's looking like here. So now all that's left is to see how she did against Galactus. So let's go ahead and hop into that clip. Alright, so here we are loading into the fight against Galactus. We have 2 random teammates. As you can see down on the bottom though, we have one with a Sharon Rogers that's fully supported out with Coulson and Nick Fury. And speaking of Coulson and Nick Fury, those are the 2 that I decided to go with for Kamala here because I figured that she might need the help, so having Nick Fury's double support here will help her to shine a little bit better against Galactus here, because I wasn't too sure how high her raw damage is going to be, but this is actually going to be a pretty short battle. As you can see, that Sharon Rogers is destroying Galactus, but even if it's a short battle, we can still see how much damage we did at the end of the fight, and we can kind of extrapolate there how she might do in a longer fight. So we'll just have to go on that. And the skill rotation that I'm going to be using here for Kamala is going to be the 4th skill. We're going to use the 4th skill as soon as she slams down the telephone poles there, or the street lights there. You're going to hop into the 5th skill, and then the 5th skill is going to be the skill you want to proc on. So that means when you start your rotation, you might want to start with the 5th skill to get the initial proc and then kind of rotate around through. Sometimes it doesn't proc when you use the 4th skill, so you can kind of get away with that, but the 5th skill has such a low amount of hits that it's actually kind of hard to proc on. I was a little bit surprised on that. It seemed like whenever I was using the 5th skill by itself, I was not procking very consistently. It was just either not happening or I proc at the very end of it. So you kind of need that extra lightning damage or that residual effects from the 4th skill to help you trigger your obelisk. And then after that, I go into the 3rd skill and then the 2nd skill. So basically, if I've already started my rotation and my obelisk is not ready to go quite yet, my obelisk just went on cooldown, I would do 3, 2, 4, and then proc on 5. If I'm starting my rotation and my obelisk is fresh, do 5, try to get the proc there, and then 3, 2, 4, back to 5 for my proc. And that seems to be working pretty well for her, but sometimes, like always with characters where you want to do a initial skill to kind of proc your obelisk and then you go into the kind of consistent skill rotation that you want to use, sometimes you can kind of get like out of balance if the boss is kind of doing too much damage to you, so you need to kite around to try to heal or avoid certain attacks, because then you have to kind of reset and try to do that initial start again with your rotation. But as you can see here, we're flying through this mainly because of that Sharon Rogers, but Kamala is still doing some damage here. So we'll see that at the end, and you may or may not be surprised. I don't know. I don't know if you'll be pleasantly or not pleasantly surprised with her damage. I was just kind of like, I was expecting more. That's kind of what the impression I got when I was seeing the damage, but let's see. It's going to be right here. I think we kill him before this phase. Yeah, there we go. Kamala getting the last hits in there. She swings those light posts at him. Sharon Rogers, 86%. There, we did 9 million damage, or 9.2 million in 3 minutes, so we can basically just multiply that by 3, and that might be close to the amount of damage that she would do in the 10 minutes, so we'll probably see something around 27 million, but we need to account for some of the like unblockable attacks and phase changes and stuff like that, which I don't know if that would be worse when you go quick like this, or better when you go slow, because when you're going quick like this and you're just flying through his health, he does the face changes a lot quicker. So in that 3 minutes, he had all of his normal like face changes for like moving positions, but we didn't have a lot of the regular like purple attacks to deal with that are unblockable, like the meteor attack, purple circles on the ground, the giant blue orbs, or anything like that. So in the 10 minutes, you're gonna have more of those attacks to deal with, but you're still gonna have the same amount of phase changes. So overall, I'm not really sure how to call that. Maybe if I bump it down a little bit, say that we're a little generous in the 3 minutes here in terms of our damage, like the next 3 minutes might not have been as good, then let's say she did more like 25 million damage in the 10 minutes, which would still be a passing grade against Galactus here. I did use, of course, Nick Fury and Coulson, so you want kind of full support there, so do need to keep that in mind, but she was able to do 1/3 of the damage, so that is definitely good. So that shows that she did get a very good buff here with the uniform, especially in terms of her raw damage, to be able to do 1/3 there, because that's not an easy feat. There's plenty of characters that can't do 1/3 of the damage against Galactus, so you know, I'm really happy to see that she can do that. So you know, if I just wanted to have fun one day with my Galactus fights, I can just use her if I feel like using her. So yeah, that's gonna be another option for me in terms of my level 70. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of Kamala Khan here. Do you think I'm over or underestimating her value here for Galactus? Do you think I should be a little harsher on my cutoffs on who I say is able to beat Galactus? Because as of right now, I still like to go with the 1/3 rule. If I'm able to do 1/3 of the damage and I have 2 other teammates that can do 1/3 of the damage, then hey, that's a passing grade for me. But anyway, that's going to be it for this video here. Hopefully you enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.